Instagram being the #1 app for the vast majority of people and businesses, it's important to make sure that the content that you're creating is getting seen by the masses with every chance for success to attract your target customer to your content. But what are the ways that you do it? What is the correct way for you to post things on Instagram? We're gonna break this down step by step while we post together on to our Instagram feed. Hi, my name is Desiree and I'm here to keep social media easy for you. Now, whenever we are doing anything that has to do with content marketing and posting things online, we need to have a plan, which is why you wanna go grab my free content planning worksheet that I have for you down in the description below, which is gonna map out how for you and keep it really simple for you. Okay, so we're gonna head over to the phone and we're going to walk through how to do an Instagram post perfectly so you can be successful on the app. Now for this tutorial, we are going to be posting a static image. We're not doing reels or lives or stories. We're doing a general old-fashioned Instagram post. Now, when we're in the app, we're gonna just hit the plus button in the bottom, right in the center, and it's gonna be presenting us with whatever images it is that we have uploaded onto our phone, or you can, of course, shoot something organically. I have a post all planned out, and so I'm going to go and select it. Now, I am going to select multiple images because I have quite a few I want to work through on our post for today. So I'm gonna hit next. Okay, and I'm gonna do a 5. Now I'm going to make this bigger. I hit the little arrows, but now I'm doing a profile photo size. So I want a little bigger, not just the square. Because I had more I needed to say and share in this post today. And I also find that the more screen space I can fill up on the feed, the better and more attention I will get from my audience and from my engagement. So I have selected 4 images total. So I have my main one, which is gonna be the main topic for my post day, and then I have the different slides for what I'm going to do. Now, they're not in order. So what I'm going to do is put them in the order I need them to be in by just clicking them, and I'm going to move them over to where I need them to go. So let's see, where do I need this? I need to go all the way to the end because I know the order I need it in, right? Okay, oh, we're gonna do this. There we go. Okay, so these are in the order now that I want. Now, I do not want to do any filters or adjustments. That's totally on you if you want it to look the way that you want it to look. So what we're going to do is hit next. Now, with our post, we have a couple of different things that we need to have in place. First and foremost, I highly encourage you to write your post beforehand. You do not want to be doing this in the app. So I have spent some time putting together what I want this post to be. Me and ChatGPT, we had a little bit of fun figuring out, but because I have a very specific agenda of what I'm trying to accomplish with this post. What I want this post to be about is the 3 different sets that I have in my home studio, how I put together and what it is that they do to share with my audience, which is why I have broken down my graph into purple, blue, and green, because I have a purple set, a blue set, and a green set. By the way, this is the blue set. So I have created. Now, first things first, you have 2,200 characters that you can use on an Instagram post. Some people don't use hardly any of those. Some people need so much more they have to go to the comment section to finish telling their story. The character count I want you to pay the most attention to is going to be 125. Why 125? Because the first line, the first sentence that we have of our Instagram post is going to be our most important, because that is what the vast majority of people are going to see. That's going to interest them in your post to get them into what is happening in your message. So 125 characters is how much space we have at the top of our message, or our caption, if you will, to get the attention that we have that supports our image. So I am going to... Now, as you can see from my message on my phone here, this is what the message is. I have it broken up in a very specific way where it's easy to read and consume in those small chunks. If you do one long block of text, it's going to be very difficult to read. So you want to break it up with the appropriate visuals so that people can easily consume your content or skim it. The first thing I want you to do is make sure you have appropriate spacing. Just do a couple of sentences or lines and add other space so it's easy to read. I also have broken up the visuals of my message here with emojis. So the beginning one, I have the 2 emojis that frame what this is kind of about, but then I also have this purple, blue, and green emoji that breaks up the bullet point of what is happening. This is really helpful for visual breaking up. Again, helps for the content to perform better and be read for us, because the more people will read, the more people spend time on your message, the better it is. It's also important to remember that this message is actually pretty lengthy. Instagram posts like length, because when we're reading, when we're taking in a story, when we're spending more time on a piece of content that is triggering a message to the Instagram algorithm that, hey, this person is so interesting that other people are spending a lot of time on their content, which is also why carousels are so great too, in addition to reels, because with carousels, we're swiping. We're making our audience do something interactive with our content, making them spend more time on our content. So let's go back to Instagram, and I'm just going to paste my message in here. And I'm going to make sure that it is looking all the ways that I want it to look. Okay, so now we paste our message into our post. So as you can see, it's broken up with the way that I had written it out so that I could do it. Now, I can do some things like space it out some more. I've gone in and I've also added in, like, if I have brands in there specifically that I want to talk about, all that kind of stuff. And then of course, I also want to make sure that I have also added some hashtags to this post. Now, here's the thing about hashtags that a lot of people are like in debate about. Are hashtags necessary? Are they a thing that people still should be using? Do we use up to the 30 that Instagram allows? Do we put them in the first comment? What is the ethics and etiquette for doing this? Now, Instagram's creator account made a post recently that maps this out, and it says very clearly, you should use hashtags. Only like 3 to 5 hashtags that are really specific to your content so they can help with discoverability. Relevant, optimized, okay. You really wanna make sure that your hashtags are really specific to your content and are going to attract the target audience that you are looking for. So for my post, I'm going to go in and add in my final little bit that I have. Now, I also kind of sum it all up. At this point, I would encourage you to ask a question in your message. It's going to give a call to action, like, what do you think? What kind of set do you have? What's something that you would do? And then of course, then include those hashtags at the bottom. Don't put your hashtags in your first comment because they're not really going to help you there. Put them at the end of your message at the very bottom, or if you need them throughout your message, like if it's related to something that you're doing or if it's for an advertisement or something, that's the best place to put those hashtags, but definitely include them. So now we're going to do the other things that we need to do to make sure that our content is going to perform as best as possible. Now we're going to add our location. Now the location can be like the city, the state, the country, or a very specific place. Like if like this is really important if like you are a like retail store or you have an office you're trying to promote very specifically. Adding a location is very important for what you're doing because it's going to allow for you again to track the people that you're trying to find from a geographical perspective. So I live in Michigan, so I'm going to add Michigan as my location. I can tag people. Now this is where I would add like brands that I am working with. So in this case, I'm going to tag the brand that I work with that does this. So we're talking about tagging people. They have to be people that are also following you as well and have agreed to be in a collaboration with you on this post. You can't just tag anybody. Like, you can't just go put like Obama, the president, whatever on a post. It's not going to work. So you could tag people that also follow you as well at this point to help amplify the reach of your post. If you have paid partnerships, this is me with brands that you work with. As you can see, I can add the different brands that I work with here. Okay, and then of course they have to approve that piece of content as well. Now let's talk about adding our product details. So let's say that you have a service that you're selling. Like I want to offer, like I'm going to do consulting to help you build your own studio. I can put that in here and add a price to it so that people can kind of get an idea of like what it is I'm trying to do. If you are selling something online, this is a great place for you to add it in there. We can add a reminder. So a reminder would be like if you don't worry about adding a reminder. Only add a fundraiser if you are doing something very specific to like for a nonprofit or you're raising money for something. And then boosting a post is where you're going to be allowed to like add funding to it so that it can amplify its reach. The last thing you have is an option. You go down to advanced settings. You can schedule your posts or turn on or off comments and things like that. These are the things that you need though to make your post effective. You want to amplify its reach as best as possible. Make sure you have a really good post where you're going to have a nice visual that will stop people in the scroll. You want to make sure that you're using your characters appropriately and telling a nice, long, lengthy story. You want to make sure that you also include hashtags that are going to be relevant to who you want to talk to attract the right person. Also have that SEO value, that search engine optimization option, people can search and find you really well. It's also important to mention that you should not put links to anything in your message, because no one can click on anything in the message that's going to take you outside of Instagram. Links are going to be for, like, if you have shopping, or you can send them to the link in your bio where they can click outside of Instagram, but Instagram really wants to keep people in here as much as possible. So do not put links or a call of action to click in the link in the description for any means at all. It's going to just really devalue that post, and it's not going to do anything but make people really frustrated. Now we're just going to hit share to publish our post. And now you can see how our post is going to look on the feed. Again, that first line is the most important. We have this nice swipeable capability. We can click on the more and we can see all of our stuff. We have the brands that we can click on to go see their source of content. And then of course we have the hashtags that allow for us to have the association for what we're trying to do in our post. Now, if you're wanting to do more with Instagram, like creating other reels, lives, and all that kind of stuff, watch this video I have for you right here, where I'm gonna navigate every single thing that you need to know for creating effective videos on Instagram.